Çöre çöre çönkülüyle ve bamra.
It is the coastal wine, the beautifully named Alizi or terrace in Berber, that has allowed Essaouira to retain its traditional culture and character. For most of the year, the wind blows so hard there that relaxing on the beach is impossible. Known as the Wind City of Africa, it attracts plenty of wine surfers between April and November. But the majority of visitors come here in spring and autumn to wander through the spice-scented lands and palm-lined avenues of the fortified Medina, browse the many art galleries and boutiques, relax in some of the country's best hotels, and watch fishing nets being mended and traditional boats being constructed in the hugely atmospheric port. So, what makes Essaouira special? What made her be one of the Moroccan's world heritage? Take a seat, grab some popcorns, because you're about to be amazed of what this small city holds.
The Medina of Essaouira, formerly named Mogador, name origination from the Phoenician word Migdol, meaning a small fortress. It's an outstanding example of a fortified town of the mid-18th century, surrounded by a wall influenced by the Vauban model. It is a small, sleepy town that has gained some prominence lately as a gateway from Marrakesh. Today, the city retains a small town feel, but it wasn't always this way. While small in size, it's a favorite for many visitors. The town today retains its integrity and its original distinctive style, despite its integrity being slightly altered, notably due to degradation of buildings in the Mellah district. The degree of loss does not compromise the significance of the property as a whole. The stage of conservation of the Medina of Essaouira is increasingly improved due to the efforts of the local authorities and the vigilance of the authorities directly concerned with its protection and presentation protection. Measures essentially relate to the different laws for listing of historic monuments and sites concerning the Moroccan heritage. Ownership of the elements that make up the historic town of Essaouira is divided between the state, the municipality, the Habus, the Israelite Alliance, cooperatives, and private individuals. The local population, the public authorities, and the associative areas are increasingly aware of the outstanding universal value of the Medina. The Essaouira Urban Agency was created to ensure a better control of town development in general and the Medina in particular. In parallel with other ministerial departments and services, this agency should plan and coordinate efforts and monitor the execution and implementation of the ongoing or planned work sites, continuing open the establishment of a management plan for the Medina that should both safeguard the architectural heritage and improve the living condition of the local population. The authorities concerned for the protection and safeguard of the property must supervise the application of the development plan for the Medina and the entire town of Essaouira.
Archaeologists have found remains that Essaouira has been inhabited since prehistoric times. In the 1st century BC, the Berber ruled Job's second built a Tyrrhenian purple dye factory in Essaouira. The dye was exported to Rome and was used as the dye for the edges of imperial Roman purple senatorial robes. The dye was worth more than gold. The fortresses that make up the walled Medina are perhaps the most noticeable feature. They were built by Portuguese conquerors around 55 along with 5 others along the coast. By 1550, they were driven from all but 3 Moroccan cities. Essaouira has a stronghold for the exportation of sugar, molasses, and a mooring point for pirates. Modern Essaouira was founded in 1760 by Muhammad III in hopes of securing a harbor as close to Marrakech as possible. There came but a lot of effort into building the city as the principal shipping port in Morocco. Essaouira also had one of the largest Jewish population in the country, at 40% of population. Today, a few survive and are being rehabilitated as a part of King Mohammed VI plan to serve cities of important religious, historical, and cultural significance. Morocco and Sub-Saharan Africa with Europe and the rest of the world. The town is also an example of a multicultural center as proven by the coexistence, since its foundation, of diverse ethnic groups, such as the Amazigh, Arabs, Africans, and Europeans, as well as Moroccan, Christian, Muslim, Christian, and Jews. Indissociable from the Medina, the Mogador archipelago comprises a large number of cultural and natural cities of ascending universal value. Its relatively large foundation and comparison to all Medinas of North Africa was the work of the Alawite Sultan Sidi Muhammad bin Abdullah, 1757 at 1790, who wished to make the small Atlantic town a royal part and chief Moroccan commercial center open to the Western world. Essaouira became one of the major Atlantic commercial centers between Africa and Europe at the end of 18th century and during the 19th century. Several small art galleries are found all over the town.
مايكل جاكسون تحمل الموتور.
I'll name 3 words. 3 words that you probably are thinking of whenever the word Essaouira comes to mind. First thing first, Essaouira has a lot of cats, as you may notice in this video. The largest festival that happens in Essaouira is the Gnawa Festival, held yearly in June. This is an action-packed weekend full of music and entertainment. Since 1998, the Gnawa Festival of World Music is held in Essaouira, normally in the last week of June. It brings together artists from all over the world. Although focused on Gnawa music, it includes rock, jazz, and reggae, dubbed as the Moroccan Woodstock. It lasts 4 days and attracts annually around 450,000 spectators. Constructed according to the principles of contemporary European military architecture in a North African context, in perfect harmony with the precepts of Arabo-Muslim architecture and town planning. It has played a major role over the centuries as an international trading seaport. Perhaps the biggest tourist attraction in Essaouira is the port. Everyday small and medium-scale fishermen bring in their catch around 10 a.m. You can visit at any time of day and find what's fresh on display. Purchase directly from the sellers and have it grilled for you nearby. Essaouira's large working port is noisy, pungent and hugely atmospheric. Along with the flurry of sea blue wooden boats arriving and departing, nets being repaired and the day's catch being landed, you can see traditional wooden boats being made. The boat builders supply fishing vessels for the entire Moroccan coast and even as far away as France, as the design is particularly seaworthy. It's also worth visiting the fish auction, which takes place in the market hall just outside the port gates. Essaouira's wide, sandy beach is great for walking and kitesurfing, but sunbathing and swimming can be difficult when the winds are strong. For swimming, stick to the town stretch, as Plage Safi to the north has dangerous currents. Beach football is a popular weekend activity and camel owners ply the sands to the south. Bargain hard if you want to take a ride, but there are better camel encounters to be had in Djerbat. Surrounded by dramatic, wave-lashed ramparts, the narrow streets, hassle-free souks, street vendors, and vibrant galleries of Essaouira's walled Medina make it a wonderful place to stroll. Dating from the late 18th century and added to UNESCO's World Heritage List in 2001, it was famously used in the opening scene of Orson Welles' 1951 film Othello, and more recently, Game of Thrones.